Cynthia J Show. I am your birthing doula, your psalmist, your inspirational healer, and so much more. Welcome to the Cynthia J Show. Go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, share, and follow. Well, just to get up here and just say to you guys, Happy New Year. Happy New Year still. Wow. We are here for another year. Happy New Year during the year of Aquarius. We will be getting into the year of the lunar within a month and a half from now. Happy New Year. My God. I know everybody had an amazing New Year entering in. For those who didn't, I still send out my prayers and my love to you. But shout out to everyone. Happy New Year. I'm just glad to see you guys on here. I'm glad you guys are alive and well. Just want to share my love to you and shout out how much I miss you. Again, thank you for the prayers. For those who've been sending love, thank you again for sending your love, your prayers to my family. And a shout out. Wow. All I know is I am grateful to thank God within me and the ancestors that I'm here alive to talk with you, here alive to be up here with you on this very day. But we're not going to be on here long. Today, we're going to be on our amazing topic. And this is season 2, episode 1. We stopped on season 1 on episode 44, leaving out to go into a year. So before I even get into the topic, I'm letting you guys know I have a new album single coming out on 4/4/2024. 4/4/2024. Your girl, your co-host, your podcaster, Cynthia J, is coming out with a new single called I Put My Trust. The numbers are representation of a blessing, a protection. The numbers are also speaking on that day that's coming out. It is my beloved brother who ascended last year in November. That is his birthday. That is also the season that we go into that some who do not know is actually the official new year. If you go by the right calendar, that is the original new year that they call April Fool's Day. That is the original year. So for those who are unaware of that, go ahead and look that up. History, studying, knowledge, it is the key. But today's topic is going to be on season 2, episode 1 on the issues of gender divide. And the reason why this topic is being brought up is because we already know about the gender divide for some who do, and for some who may not know. You know, when you go and you look it up on the internet under Google, it's going to tell you something separate from the women. But I am coming to you, your sister, your foundational sister is coming to you to speak on gender divide in our community with men and women. Look at what's going on around in our world today. The stuff that you see. Now, don't get me wrong to my sisters. I might be stepping on some toes tonight. But do not take this personally. Take this as a way of the same that I had to, a way of gaining some knowledge and wisdom to understand why it's so important that we learn to be together with our men. Our men learn to be together with us women, because we are living in a society today where gender divide has conquered our community. It has conquered our household. It is conquered in so many things that now you're starting to see our brothers, the men, not inside the homes. You're starting to see more now than ever before the women taking on the single mom roles. It's like you're seeing a whole video, documentary, movie, whatever you want to call it, repeating itself again in history. What we've seen happen in other areas that are not within our area is now hitting us now. And that is something that we need to discuss today. We need to discuss, why is there an issue with gender divide? Why are we causing each other to put a split? It's not just because of, we can't get along with each other just alone, or people using relationships when it's coming to, infidelity and things like that. But what we're seeing, a gender divide is going to show that women, for majority, not all, with some of us, majority, we know we need the other half. Others say, I don't need a man. And this is why A, B, C, D. And then when they do say they need a man, they date outside of their race, which is all dandy. However, we are causing issues within our community that is weakening. And then you wonder why you don't have the men that you have to protect, or vice versa. I'm starting to see more now and hearing also from my own, brothers in the community, why they have an issue with sisters, with certain particular women, because it is put out and portrayed that, hey, you have these particular women who are out here. Now you have those, and you heard me say this before in previous videos last year. You have these particular type of women who are living a lifestyle like the celebrity industry, or carrying their mannerism, their character, their behavior, everything about them in that way, and it's geared into your relationship for whoever you're with. Needless to say, the brothers will entertain that, and that's where you're weakening at, to my brothers. So with that, all jokes aside, you have so much division going on of independency. The roles have also switched. Think about it. Even in the process of gender divide, the roles have switched. So now you have the women acting masculine. Now you have the men, some of the men acting feminine, and there's no balance. You know, it's supposed to be the man being masculine and the woman be feminine. Yes, the man's going to have some little feminine, and the woman is going to have a little bit of masculine. It's supposed to be a balance. That's where you hear the yin and the yang come from, you know. Or some people would say, like I was telling a friend of mine, I said, think about it, the yin and the yang, the heaven and hell, the dark and the light, the moon and the sun. It has to be a balance. But are we doing that? Think about it. Are we doing that? Are we rotating in balance? No, we're not. We have a division over here so badly where, again, I'm starting to see a lot of sisters complain about the men. They don't need a man, but we're continuously having children when we say this. And then I'm looking at the brothers making the wrong decision on the type of woman that they have, or they're stepping outside of what their masculinity is supposed to be. And we don't know, and we're unaware. Now we're like, I can't trust you. No side can trust each other because one is lying, one's being deceitful, one wants to control, one wants to be greedy. I mean, the list is long. The list is very, very long. And I know for some of you guys, you're gonna be like, okay, what is she talking about? Where is she trying to go at with this? We've heard something similar to this before. Okay, cool beans, you have. But whatever you heard it from, or wherever you heard it from, the question you should be asking yourself is, did you take heed to it when you heard it? That's the question you should be asking yourself. Did you take heed when you heard it? Did you take the time to let it register, marinate? Keep it in your box in the back of your head so that you can go back into that memory bank and be like, okay, I remember this was said to me A, B, C, D amount of years ago. Because I know I've been doing that for a while, long while now. Because even out of the mouth of babes, they'll teach you something too. I've seen a little girl one time correct an older woman on how she was talking to a man. This girl had to be 8 years old. 8. And do you know that man turned around and nicely asked the mother of that child, could he take them out or pay for their groceries? Because this happened at a grocery store. Mhm. With my own eyes and with my own ears, I heard this. So a child bringing in bounds. Why would a child even be knowing about that in my mind? Why would a child be even knowing about that? But the mother of that child was even shocked that that came from out of the child because, again, she had some kind of example around her showing that, hey, we don't need no more division. We don't need gender divide. The man needs the woman needs the man. We need each other. So why every few months when we have Women's Month and then we have in the Women's March and all this, you don't see none of that. No man around, all women, and you already know what agenda is behind that. I'm not even gonna go into that story. That's no offense for those who are in that area or however you want to put it. However, it is causing a divide in our community and our household to grow, to reproduce, to come in some ways where we can be together, work together, grow together, produce together. How can we be masters of what we're trying to play if we constantly being slaves to the same servitude of agenda that we're always following? Who's to say that what we grew up knowing has to be a part of you and I, us in general? What do you think about a woman that cheats on you on Valentine's Day? Well, first of all, now where I'm at today on Valentine's Day and the history of Valentine's Day, that goes to show if a woman cheats on you on Valentine's Day, she's doing what the oppressor has already been wanting us to do anyway. But a woman that cheats on you on Valentine's Day don't appreciate you. She shows you no respect whatsoever. But how did this situation occur? Okay, I was with her for 5 years and she was with him for 2 years. Ooh. Did you know? Did you see any signs? Some red signs, my brother? Something. Because majority of the time, some women, they giving a sign. The question is, are we catching it? Are we discerning? Are we being watchful? Are we listening? 2 years is a long time. 2 years. 2 years. That's just like with women. Sometimes, you know how they say women got intuition. Men, trust me, y'all got discernment too now. Don't get it twisted. To all those sisters out there, if you got a really good, decent man, and if you know that if you feel that he is not up to your par, don't go messing it up for the next sister that could potentially have somebody great. Come on now. Or if he cheating on you, don't cheat on him just because he cheat on you. Because see, you lose your dignity amongst that. So please, definitely have some, dignity and character for yourself because that's golden. You said the other dude, ooh, Jesus. The other dude posted a VD pic on Instagram and everything else. Well, I'm glad you didn't stay with a brother on that. I'm glad. I'm glad you didn't stay because that right there, that's a definite big red sign of disrespect to not just you, yet herself. A lot of times you're gonna have people who, you know, cause issues in a relationship, which put a halter on someone else who will probably and possibility or destined to be potential for your life. Be potential, or I should say, let me take that back. Let me take back the word potential. Would be the one destined for you. That's a cold thing to do. Let me scroll back. I got some more. Okay, okay, good. You didn't stay together in the same house. Okay. And that's kind of tricky, Again, if you're in a relationship for 5 years with someone, and this goes to paying attention to the people we are in relationship with. Get to know each other. I hear a lot of now, and I heard my daughter say this one day. She was like, "Yeah, I used to date him." I said, I said to my daughter, I said, "Date, girl, you need to go back to sleep. What is your definition of date?" When we were told growing up, if the person is if the person is working, have a job, driving a vehicle, have their own place, then you can date. But if you have somebody that's not doing all that, ain't no such thing as dating. With kids, y'all ain't dating, y'all just liking. So like I had to tell her, you you gotta have a relationship built. You have to build a relationship first. What I mean by that, I'm not saying, okay, y'all gonna say, hey, we're in a relationship now, we're gonna date. No, you have to build a relationship first before you take it to the next level. Because eventually they're gonna show something. Eventually they're gonna show something. They're gonna be sitting up there telling on themselves. Trust and believe. Because something's gonna reveal. Something is gonna reveal. Oh Lord, brother. I'm sorry. He was buying a $1,000 bags and shoes. Well, they say the quote, the whole saying they say money is the root of all evil. I would say money is the root of all badness for those who are materialistic. When it comes to that, and I've actually had this conversation before. If you again build a relationship, when you're building a relationship, you get to see the dynamics in each box with that individual. Because eventually that individual box is going to have a crack in it, and you're going to see something that they are hiding. Sometimes people show you who they really are, but we ignore it. They'll give you a little piece here, a little piece there, and it can be confusing sometimes. They can be very deceitful with it. Yet, this should not have you to divide yourself to think that all women are like that. Same thing with sisters. Not all men are like that. I see this happen so much that me growing up, I used to hear sisters out here saying, I'm not going to date a man. Welcome, 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 guys. I'm not going to date a man no more. I'm going to go date a woman and become a lesbian, or I'm not going to date a, or I hear, I've actually heard this, and this is when I was in college. I heard a guy say, I'm done. I'm going to date men. And I thought he was joking. I thought women only, or you heard females only talk like that. But I was like, when I heard it, I was like, whoa, what in the world? Come on. For real? Oh my. Now he's going back to jail and she's calling me back. Well, if she's messing with a guy who's been locked up before and he's going back to jail, you already see where the division at. She let it happen. Run. Because now you're allowing and you're accepting what she does in your life. For real. And if she's coming by your house and coming by your job and she's not listening and she's begging, I definitely I definitely send my love that you have somebody to talk to her. I don't always try to tell people to call the police quite yet or anything like that to get restraining orders and stuff like that. However, oh, hey, love, I've been well. God has been with me, pressing me, pushing me, and definitely it has been a challenging last end of the year of last year, but we started on new beginnings. I know the same is good with you. So again, for those who don't know who I am, before I go back to the question, hi, my name is Cynthia J, aka you are on the Cynthia J show. I'm your psalmist, your birthing doula, your inspirational healer, your herbalist, and so much more. So definitely, while I'm in here chiming, you guys, your sister's coming out with a single album in the month of 4/4/2024. Definitely keep a lookout on that on YouTube and most platforms, live streams. The title of that song is I Put My Trust. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about it because I'm dedicating this song to my brother who ascended last year, and it will be coming out on his birthday. But back to your question, definitely, if you have a family member in your family that can sit down, or someone you know that can talk with this young lady, if she's still doing what she does and is reasonable, then definitely go ahead. If not, then my best advice to you is to go ahead and file a report, because sometimes these situations can lead to some serious altercations and safety issues. However, what advice I am giving is up to you. This is not to tell you what to do. This is just advice given. Any advice given, it is not to be used against me due to the fact of a choice of yours that you using it for, out of my hands. But I definitely would tell you, be safe. As long as you are doing what you're supposed to be doing, as long as you doing things right that's not causing the situation, then you should be straight. Other than that, back to our topic, gender divide. Go ahead and hit that like button and share this post with someone. Chime a relative in, whoever it may be. Chime on in. This is your girl, Cynthia J. So, with that being said, let's focus on the fact that we need more of us working together, learning each other, going back to the things that were lost. Because if you think about it, a lot of ways that has been lost that kept us together when the gender was no division. Now, don't get me wrong, way before all of our times, you had women helping women, men helping men, and then they will come together and commune together and get their ideas together and stuff like that that will help in the community, that will help in your household and so forth. But if you are in a situation where the world's perspective, the world's, morals and so forth is intervening in your life, your household, your community, and it's not something that you would recommend, then don't. Why are we accepting other things outside of what we know is supposed to be for us? What is supposed to work for us? It's sad when you see again too many homes divided, not having a father in a household with the woman having multiple kids. You're not seeing too much of that with fathers taking on the kids, which I give my kudos to single fathers out there who have been holding the fort and you don't get enough recognition. I salute to you, my single fathers, for real, because that's a duty. That's a duty by itself, just like with a woman. That is truly a duty. And I gotta give kudos to the brothers out there who are really holding the fort down. Because I don't want you guys to think that we forget about you. My sisters, you already know I salute you. I salute you. Again, we all gotta show some love and stop causing issues that will hinder one another when we are supposed to be elevating each other. Where I am weak, you are strong. Where you are strong, where I'm strong, where you are weak at. And let's fix that. Let's balance that out. I can definitely tell you, being married to my husband for over almost 16 years, it was some of the outside world issues that could have had divided us, that could have had caused the issues. I could have been a woman of being a single mother. Yet I'm grateful because I made sure that I had to correct some situations within myself. I didn't really see too much. I'm not gonna say my mom wasn't a single mom, but she was married before. I had to see friends and others that I knew outside of that, and those who are around my mom's circle who actually went through those things. So I said to myself, let me work on me so that I can be the best that I am for the person who is to come along. I had to learn by experience of other situation. I also watched the things that was happening in my community. I was seeing how the black woman and the black man was being towards each other. And yes, for those who tuning in, I understand if you feel that this is separating other groups. But even if you're not black, there's still Same thing that happens in other people's, relationship and cultures and where environment doesn't matter really. But I know in my community of Black people, I see that happen a lot. And I grew up seeing the men and the women married and growing around. But as I got older, I saw a shift change. And that's when I started to see the division and happen consistently. The division was so bad that it was just like, okay, well, how did anybody know who is who? Because I would have friends that didn't even know who their father were. Or for those who were adopted, or those who were adopted because they were in foster care, et cetera, they still went through that same issue too. So then now here come they're older, they're going out here looking. But then when they do meet one of their parents and one of their parents is still acting like today's younger parents with the foolishness and the ratchetness, now you know where that has come from. We are living in a generation now where you see the love and hip hop industry being the lifestyle of today. You don't see any more of the Bill Cosby's and the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, even though we already know behind the scenes of that's a separate whole topic. Still, again, you don't get to see that type of household building a family. Or when you used to see stuff like with Moesha, for those who used to watch, Brandy with Moesha, and even though there was stepmom in the house, still there was a man and there was a woman and there was family. There was no division. Nobody's making it seem like one was better than the other. If they did, it was talked about and it was handled, and I don't want to use the word corrected because that's not the right word to use. Yet again, it was a way of saying, "Hey, we need to talk about this. We got to work on this thing here. Let's do that." So now with issues within gender divide, not only do you see, and I'm seeing this a lot, and for real a lot. I know you guys saw all last month and month before last where you're seeing sisters outside of the race. Everybody was just posting this picture like this was the best thing in the world. And I'm sitting here as a woman looking at it like, this ain't cool. Why we on our knees? This ain't cool. Standing up looking to a guy that's not even looking like me. This ain't cool. And I'm like, okay, I come across so many amazing Black brothers, even down to the ones that get looked over. And when I listen to their stories, I'm like, wow. Well, I need that now. I need you to work on what you did before and elevate and take that to another whole level now. I have seen where the men doing the opposite of the sisters, but in the same thing a little bit, the opposite of it, but in a different way. And then I'm like, okay, what's going on? We all over the place, like for real. Why are we so all over the place? Let's stop doing that. Let's stop being all over the place. We need to do better. Like seriously. How many of you guys went on ahead and watched that Color Purple play? Let me see you put some hearts up. How many of you went and some head claps? How many of you went and watched that? I know I did. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't. But how many of you guys watched the new play of the Color Purple? I know some of you guys did. Come on now. I know you did. I saw so many feedbacks on the Color Purple. Yes, I did. So many feedbacks. How many of you guys went and watched The Color Purple? Growing up, I watched the first one. I don't know how many of you guys on here watched the first one. That means that's going for my ladies and gents. How many of you sisters on here watched it? How many of you brothers on here watched it? For the ones I do know, I come across majority of brothers who never watched it. My husband never watched it. Never. When I first watched it as a kid, I was angry. I ain't even gonna front. I was angry. You're gonna be like, why was you angry? I was more angry at the one part towards the middle of the movie than I was angry at the beginning to the middle. I'm gonna tell you why. They made the black man look so bad and volatile in here, right? Then they turned around and have the sister running around here like she's Debo beating on people. Because she said all her life she had to fight. She had to fight men off her brothers and whoever, right? Then when she stood up for herself and declined something and nobody wanted to listen, then she gets smacked. Now this is the section with the white man that she knocks the hell out. But when she get out of jail, she gets soft. We bow it down to a system. That's a part of one of the issues with gender divide. You see how they separated you from the man, and then you turn around with that same arrogance. Then when you went and counteract that in society, look what it did to you. That's what put me in check with myself when I was younger after I watched it. This time I ain't go watch the play. Because even though they was like it's a musical, okay, but it's the the whole thing of me sitting there watching this again, seeing it with my eyes, because your eyes are a portal. And with all that being said, it's like, okay, no, I want to watch that again. Because I already felt some kind of way about it. I didn't like the way it made and portrayed in certain ways because I have physically seen for myself things differently. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and say like stuff never like that ever happened in our community. Yes, it has. However, I was like, nah, I'm good. Because now and it's funny for this to come out at the end of the year too. Notice how they take all these kind of movies like this, like Harriet Tubman. Now you had this, and it was a couple more. What was it? I think it was another movie. Movies like that, they bring it towards the end of the year for you to see as a distraction. Don't be distraction for what the main core that you need to be paying attention to need to be focused on. Yeah, I can take pictures with everybody and take it in front of the post and the pic with that thing, whoop de whoop. Now, I gotta still give it out to one of my Sora's Fantasia on there. You know, I'm proud of her. I'm proud of the sisters for standing in there, going in there, taking advantage of it. You know, I might not like the logistics how they did it. Yet again, it's just good to see them. However, let this be a lesson to not sell your soul for nothing. Not saying that's what they did. I ain't pointing fingers, but don't sell your soul, no matter what the cost is. Don't entertain it with your spirit, no matter what the cost is. Yes, they people out here making a lot of money off of these things and a lot of opportunities, but at what expense are you going to allow yourself to make the cost with it? So, with that being said, if you're watching a movie like this, learn from it from a different perspective. Learn from it from a different perspective. Learn from it from a different perspective. Don't take exactly what you see and then calculate it for what it is because what you see. Let it come from a different place and dissect it very thoroughly, inch by inch. Dissect it. Because at the end of all of it, we as the woman and the man, the brother, the sister, the father, the mother, and so much more, have to be there for one another, have to reconcile, have to learn from generational to present lessons that we in the world call mistakes. Learn from these lessons. Take the wisdom from it. Let the challenges mold you and build you. Yes, it's going to be scary on some things, but don't be a coward. Get your strength from the ancestors and God and go from there. But don't paint this picture thinking to my brothers that all women are like this. Sister, same thing. Don't paint that picture to think that all men are like this, because it's not. And think of the younger men now, to my brothers out there. Show them, correct them in a loving way. Show them in a way that they should be molded and built, and teach them to be watchful of the gender divide issues. Same thing with my sisters. Teach our young ladies to be watchful for the gender divided system, because the system is to keep us apart, to stop us from reproducing and producing. It is to stop us from elevating. It is to stop us and put us in the palm of the agenda's hand to control with power. So pay attention to that. Be mindful of it, because it's out here. And if you don't believe that it is, then you're living in a microwavable box, thinking everything is fast. Gotta have it right now. Stuck in that box. Everything is quick. You're stuck in that box. You know nothing. You just know only what you know, because you quick, you fast with it. Instead of being like water, free, moving around, noticing things that's going on, paying attention to what's going on, taking heed to it, and learning from each thing. So, with that being said, we're not going to stay on that topic too long. But as we are getting ready to end, I do want to say this. How many of you guys been watching and listening to the Cat William clips on Shannon's? If you have not been on YouTube, listen to it. You see how everybody's exposing everybody? That's how we do to each other. We expose to each other. Now, in a way, it's good that you do that, because it's in-house cleaning that needs to be done amongst our own. But be careful, because the other eyes are watching, and they are trying to see how far we're going to go against each other. So make sure you guys are paying close attention. But I'm not going to hold you guys up. For those who are living in the big VA, up and down the East Coast, be careful out here, guys. They are calling for a winter weather storm this weekend. If you haven't got a chance to get your emergency kits, you guys have heard me tell you this before. If you don't have an emergency kit list, go on Google, type in emergency kit list for evacuations, winter storms, etc., etc. Sometimes you can use the same list. Yet again, get to it. Make sure you got your water, all that good stuff. Don't be blindsided and say, okay, oh, it's not coming this time because it said it before last year and it didn't happen. Okay, it's better to make sure you got your backup stuff than to not have it at all. Then you'll be regretting it. So be weather advised, the winter storm that they are saying is supposed to be sweeping down the East Coast. Do you hear? Be safe out there on the highways, everyone. Please don't drive recklessly. If you have family members who are, taking ill, I lift up my ascension prayers to you. Definitely hit that like button, share. If you have never listened to any of my music, go on YouTube and type in Cynthia J. I have songs called Stretch Your Faith, God Turn It Around, My Stories for Your Glory, I Need You, and so much more. And you'll see all my other past and previous podcast. So with that being said, you can also click in my bio if you're on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Click on there and hit on my link tree. And you see all other information. If you would like to donate for the ministry, definitely do so. Just know that it doesn't really technically go to me. I definitely take those funds and go out here and help my people with it, especially the children, for those who are in school. Because a lot of times these kids are in these public schools. Other parents who do have the money to get the money for the supplies. By the time that our kids go to school like mine, I stack her up with a lot of stuff. She comes back and tell me she don't have nothing. I'm kind of confused, like why they're sharing these items to the children in the classroom. If you know of someone, go help someone. If you know a neighbor who's struggling next door to you, go ahead and help them. Knock on their door and ask them, do they need anything? You know, build the community because even though one day you may need them, definitely take that time. For those who are single moms, for those who might need somebody to house sit or babysit, go in the community and help one another. Don't be so quick to be angry. We live in a society, people are so angry now after the pandemic, it has gotten worse. Again, if any of you guys know of anyone who is in need, definitely go there and help them out and let your sister know and share your testimony. Definitely share your testimony. Yes, you're right, but be careful though. Exactly. It's called discernment. If you pay attention and you just look around and you feel and really discern people's energy, you will see if it's necessary. Because trust me, I understand where you're definitely coming from. Always be careful. When I'm out here, I always watch. I sit back, like I tell my little neighborhood kids, hey, y'all don't think I be watching. I said I had my birds watching, and they be looking at me like birds, and they be looking up in the sky like where they at, which is true. You probably like, what is she talking about? No, ancestors are always watching. Well, with that being said, yes, be careful. Not everyone is meant to be helped. But use your gift of discernment. So with that shared, again, check your sister out in April 4th, 2024 for my new album, I Put My Trust in You by your sisters truly. And if you're looking for CMOS, again, hit me up in my bio link. I don't have like a link that clicks on there for that, but I do if you're in the area or the community, I do that. Remember, your sister is an inspirational healer, spiritual healer, and a herbalist and a birthing doula. If you are pregnant right now and looking for a birthing and postpartum doula, even before or after, definitely look us up. It's in my bio link. Go ahead and hit that like button and share, click. But with that being said, I thank you guys for tuning in on the Cynthia J Show, holding us women accountable, holding my community accountable, holding my people accountable, holding us all accountable for every cross walk of life. I love you guys. Stay blessed. Be safe. Continue to keep me in prayer as I continue to brag about my brother, Eric Jones. I'm dedicating this new song, this new album on his birthday. I'm excited, guys. I am. And I definitely pray to the ascension that my brother is pleased with his sister is doing. I love you guys. Stay tuned. Be blessed. Peace and love. Go ahead. Hit that like button and share now. Don't forget about your sister. See you guys. Alyssa. Yep. Go ahead and talk. You did it yesterday too, so that's 2 times. How much more am I supposed to deal with that? Mm.
Yeah, yeah. My story is for your glory. My story is for your glory. It's for your glory, Lord. I worship you today. I give you all the praise. For my story is for your glory. My story, Lord. My story is for your glory. My story is for your glory. A journey to